He's hooked him. Short. Gave him ample time. He's a very good puller of the ball. Carl Hooper is. The first boundary of the day.
Been bowling a lot of short balls this morning, Zaheer Khan. That didn't bounce a great deal though. He got them up quite a lot higher when he bowled them at Brian Lara. Only good thing about that is was going in the right direction away from Carl Hooper to make it just a touch more difficult, but it wasn't high enough to bother him.
Nicely played, very nicely played. Won't get a boundary. The outfield slows down over here. The soaking it has taken over the years, over the days, and then the last couple of days does slow the ball down as it comes towards the advertising boards. That's the end of the over. 141 for 2. Good delivery, that. Very good delivery. You can see Lara's nervousness as well, because he's also playing at deliveries that he should be leaving alone. It's a good angle, Michael.
Very good angle. I think that was an excellent delivery. Where it pitched, he had to play. He wasn't too sure if it was going to continue on that line through to the wicket keeper or straighten fractionally.
That is bad. Very good effort that by Harbhajan Singh. He has got a dodgy shoulder. It's very good running by the West Indians. They've taken 3.
Good cricket all around, that, except for the bowling, of course. It's like the wrong line, that, from Javagal Srinath, but that was very good running to get 3 runs down the fine leg. Had a lot of ground to cover. Harbhajan Singh did it well. We know that he has been having a few problems with that shoulder of his, so he was unable to throw it. Oh, that could have been a bit uncomfortable, rolling over on that left hand like that. Well appreciated by his teammates.
No ball signal, punched down the ground by Lara. It won't reach the boundary. Just pulling up inside. 3 comfortable runs. And 4 runs added to the score because of that signal. It's good to see from Lara that his footwork has been positive, even when he came into bat yesterday. Shot, and again pulled away. He's not in control of it. Just out of the reach of Shiv Sunder in front of the umpire. I think he was just a little late in picking it. 152 for 2. This is the last ball of the previous over. Hooper looking to drag it from outside the off stump. And Shiv Sunder just unable to reach it. Just got a feeling when you're in a situation like this, you got to get a little more desperate. I think the dive should have come out there. Starts off with a full toss and loosener and bang down the ground by Hooper.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. You just cannot bowl such sloppy deliveries as that. You know the game is tight. You've got to bowl the length. And there's no excuse for that. That's miles over pitched, is that. I mean, if you can't run up at this level and bowl 6 balls roughly in the area you want, you shouldn't be playing.
Nehra has struck the big wicket of Lara. And just like in the first innings, he was out caught behind. It's a very similar shot. He can't believe what he's done, but India have got the big wicket.
Well, we're just saying about change the bowling. Change the bowling. Fourth ball is bowled. Second ball at Lara, and that's the difference. You just change the bowling, you give the batsman something else to think about. Different action. It's a beautiful delivery. Maybe a touch wide, but that's being hypercritical. It's just a lovely length, you see. Look at the length, plays and it just bounces. Maybe he could have left it, but you see, he got used to Zaheer Khan. New bowler, you just don't quite pick up the different line. And it's not, and it isn't just because they both bowl left hand, they don't have the same actions. One's a skidder. This kid's a skidder. Zaheer's a banger in. 157 for 3.
And Shivnarine Chanderpaul has come out to the centre. The crowd has been stunned into silence here. Brian Lara has been dismissed. And a very good delivery from Ashish Nehra to get rid of Lara. We mentioned at the pitch report a little while earlier that there are some cracks on the surface where the odd ball might just bounce on the batsman. That's what accounted for Lara, but now Chanderpaul has come out to the centre. 100 in the first test match. He got a poor decision in the first innings here. But an excellent delivery to get rid of Brian Lara. There was extra bounce, it took the outside edge, the length was good. And just like in the first innings, Lara just playing with the bat a little away from the body, and that took the outside edge.
Spare a thought for the man that caught it. If he'd have dropped it, Rahul Dravid, Lara would have gone on and made 100, but caught it easily.
157 for 3.
Here's how Lara went, not dissimilar to the way he went in the first innings. Just fishing at it outside the off stump, ball leaving him, a little bit of extra bounce, and straight into the safe hands of Rahul Dravid. Thick edge.
Well, Sourav Ganguly excited. Why not? He's got the wicket of Brian Lara.
Hooper has gone over the top. That's a typical Hooper shot. Got under it, hoisted it. Good, confident blow by Hooper for 4.
And that's good thinking by the West Indian captain, because he knows that Shivnarine Chanderpaul, who's just coming to bat, can at best at the other end nudge and push the singles, unlike Brian Lara, who could hit the boundary. So he needs to score the runs, Carl Hooper. And that's what he's trying to do. He's hit it with the turn very safely. There's no protection there for Harbhajan Singh. It's a safe shot. Very good shot.
Gone. Hooper has hit it straight into the hands of mid-wicket. 2 big wickets for India, and they know now that they're in a very, very good position. They've got rid of Lara in Nehra's previous over. They've now got rid of Hooper, and the West Indies are 164 for 4, and India sees the initiative.
Well, I'm not too sure this was the right kind of shot to play, because the ball was angled from left hand over the wicket. Hooper just wasn't in any position to play that, wasn't able to hit it along the ground. There it is, angled, there it is, around his waist. Didn't quite come up there, but straight to Shiv Sunder. And Ganguly, boy, is he excited. The 2 danger men, he knows, are back in the pavilion. 164 for 4.
Chris Gayle resumes the innings, which was interrupted yesterday when he had cramped in his forearms. He was 21 then. The score was 68. He resumes now with both Lara and Hooper, the not-out batsman from overnight, gone. These are the last 2 specialist batsmen for the West Indies. They have 149 more to win. And Nehra, this young left-arm fast bowler in the series for the first time, has got both of them. 164 for 4. So there's the card with just Junior Murray, the keeper, who hasn't scored a run in 2 innings in the series. And then the 4 fast bowlers. Here's how Hooper went.
Well, you can see he was clearly cramped for room to free his arms. The ball was far too close to the body. That's why he wasn't able to get enough power, neither the elevation that he would have wanted, because he would have wanted to hit it over the top of that fielder. Ganguly absolutely over the moon. And why not? Because he was the one who stuck his neck out by picking Nehra in place of Anil Kumble.
Off the under edge, but it was a dangerous looking shot. Ball coming back into Chanderpaul. A little bit of a misjudgment. 166 for 4. Hearts are beating even faster.
Shivnarine Chanderpaul trying to play positively, just a little too close to play that cut shot, because this is the one that came straight through, didn't turn away.
Strange shot will get him 4. Got back and pulled it past the bowler. Really didn't hit it with the middle of the bat, rather high on the bat, but still found the gap between the bowler and mid-on for 4.
You should normally see a pull shot towards mid-wicket or square leg, but he just slapped it straight past the bowler. It wasn't exactly a pull shot, because it was played with a pretty vertical bat.
Needed Gully. Well, this is only the second ball to Gayle. This is where you know, this is where you could crowd people straight away. You know, Ganguly's going to bring a man in. Maybe he should have had a man beforehand, especially the guy's not really faced Harbhajan. Certainly not today. You know, it's the first few balls off a bowler that are the problem for a batsman. Just get the feel of his action and how much it's going to turn.
Yes, Jeff, if you remember the first ball that Gayle played against Harbhajan last evening, almost got caught at point. The ball landed just a foot or so short of the fielder there. Interesting to see what Gayle does. Will he try and scatter the fielders? I don't think so at the moment.
Somebody there shouting, let's get Junior Murray in. Is that little Ratra? I should keep quiet the amount of runs he's made. That's a shocking delivery. That makes the captain look a fool. It's a full toss. 4 men round the back. That's what I'm talking about. Really bad balls. 177 for 4. Oh, lucky. Went wide. Can't do anything about that. He can't have slips everywhere. He's got to save some runs as well as the captain of India. But that's airy-fairy shot, and he's got away with it.
Yes, what he needs to tell himself, though, Jeffrey, is that if it's happening so often, it could happen again. Can't afford to get frustrated saying, oh, if I had a gully, I might have got a man out. If I had a third slip, I might have got another man out. Because as you said, you only have 9 fielders to put around. So he's got to tell himself, let me keep doing exactly what I'm doing, and then one will go to hand. That's 4. He likes it there. That's really his favorite shot. Likes to open his shoulders and play big shots, does Chris Gayle. And he got the ball in the slot.
Well, I did talk about length, and this is right length for hitting. It's very full and wide. Watch how full it is. It's a lovely shot. Foot to the pitch of the ball. You could hardly miss that. Look at that knee bend. Wasn't it wonderful? If he played a lot like that, he would get a lot more runs. Big stride, bend that front knee. Shot, man, shot. Terrific shot. Beautifully played. Gorgeous, wasn't it? Bend of the knee again. Get that weight forward.
Jeffrey, are you sure the person at the other end when you called last night was not Chris Gayle, sounding like Ganguly?
I think the lads played well. I thought he played well yesterday, Chris Gayle. I really did.
Tell you what, everybody's talking about. We all were. Lara and Hooper, and I still believe Chanderpaul holds the key. You never know. This man might be the joker in the pack, Chris Gayle. And 35. He's played good, bold shots. Now, more people on the off.
The crowd love that. After a lovely cover drive, block it, bat and pad together.
You can tell the ebb and flow of this match. The moment people start applauding for the defensive pushes, they start to think, hang on, our boys now have a chance again. These two have put on 29. It's very different half an hour ago. More runs, another boundary. They're going to love it here. Lots of thinking to do for Sourav Ganguly. 10 of the over, 197 for 4. With appeal for leg before that one. I'll tell you, I think might have been very close. I'd love to take another look at it. 201 for 4. I think the appeal was for leg before, and it was a very good appeal. This will give us an idea. Just one of the angle might have been taking it away. I'll get Michael Holding and Tony Cozier to tell you about that.
Yeah, sure, and there's a long stride as well, but it's a matter of geometry. Long stretch forward again. The umpire would have considered the angle. Would the ball have come back in? End of the over, 206 for 4.
Again, the angle taking it across Chris Gayle's body towards the slip cordon, and he's a tall man, Chris Gayle. We have seen how far forward he gets. The ball pitched perhaps just on leg stump, but it hit him just on off stump. So obviously it would have continued on that same line.
In the air, but too fast. Through little Das there at short leg, whipped away in the air for a single. 209 for 4, ends the over from Harbhajan. We'll have one more over before the lunch interval. Not too far from the off stump, but safely negotiated, and the West Indies go into lunch at 210 for 4. They need another 103 runs to win the match. India require another 6 wickets before they can get those 103.
Needs to start showing people that he can carry on, and I think that's a fair ask from any international cricketer. If you want to remain on that stage, then you have to produce and show us big scores.
Okay, well, we've just seen the Indians take the new ball, Jimmy. So once again, I'm going to say it, yet another key session.
It is, and it's going to be very interesting. Srinath has troubled everybody in this test series with both old and new ball, but obviously he's going to get more purchase now from this harder ball, higher seam on it, and it's going to be very, very important for the two West Indian batsmen to really weather this particular storm out.
How long does it take to weather the storm of the new ball? I mean, just give us a rough idea. When does it start? I mean, I know it depends on how it's being hit around, but when does it start to get a bit soft and things get a bit easier? How many overs, roughly?
15, 20 overs.
So that's quite a long time to survive.
That's an hour and a half. And if you take into consideration the sort of collapses that we've had on both teams so far in the series, then you come to realize just how important this initial burst will be, this sort of half hour to an hour period.
I guess it would help the West Indians, though, that they've got two men who, in various forms of the game, have both opened the innings for the West Indies.
They have done, and yes, it will be some comfort to those around, but I can guarantee you that everybody in that West Indies dressing room will have their heart in their mouth over the next hour, because the next 8 overs will be so crucial.
Not just them with their heart in their mouth, Jimmy. Let's get to our commentators. Sunil Gavaskar alongside Ravi Shastri.
It's the seam bowlers who've done the damage for India. Srinath and Ashish Nehra, the ones who picked the wickets, as also Zaheer Khan. So now with the second new ball, India will definitely fancy their chances, particularly this player. Bowled really well, Ashish Nehra. Concentrated on that away-going delivery, which he bowled so well. The downside, of course, of the new ball is it's harder. It also goes off the bat that much quicker.
Well, he's a busy player, Chanderpaul, and it's been a typical innings from him. But for Chris Gayle, I think his application has been first class. Came out to bat today after retiring for cramps yesterday, and he's not let his side down. Tall man, he's got his feet moving. We've often spoken about his lack of footwork at times, but today he's been watchful, he's been disciplined in his shot selection, and that's what he's got to show. 6 boundaries, and most of them very powerfully struck. He's a good driver of the ball, but he's also left a lot of deliveries alone outside the off stump. And that's the discipline I was talking of. He normally likes to get on with things. He likes to dominate and attack.
It's always an advantage when you have an opening batsman to square up to the second new ball. Chris Gayle, of course, squaring up to the second new ball because he retired hurt with cramp in his arm yesterday. There certainly is a plus as far as the West Indies are concerned, that there's an opening batsman here now to tackle the second new ball.
Still over 100 runs to get for the West Indies. And during the lunch break, there's no late lunch really for anybody. Quickly went across to the stalls, picked up their lunch boxes and came in and took their positions. You can see everyone in the West Indian dressing room also. Just look at their faces. It's a tense look. This is a tight test match. .211 for 4. .211 for 4. Just the 1 run added since lunch, and Ashish Nehra will share the second new ball with Srinath.
Just picking up some grass over there. Ashish Nehra trying to see which way the wind is blowing. Bowled quite superbly in the morning when he got those wickets off Brian Lara and Carl Hooper. Now he's got a new ball in his hand. Excellent spell, number 4 that. 19 runs in his 7 overs, but crucially, 2 wickets. And that is well bowled. This is the one that he's so good at bowling. Swinging in the air, off the pitch. He almost tempted Shivnarine Chanderpaul to go in for the drive. Last minute withdrawal of the bat, but have a look at this.
Yes, it's an inviting delivery. The batsman just for a moment must have thought, should I go for it? Go for the big booming cover drive. In the end, makes the right decision. He's got to get his eye in. Chanderpaul. And we've already seen once a batsman gets set, then it's not all that easy to dismiss him. He gets used to what shots to play. The problem is for a batting starting fresh on the surface to gauge the pace and the bounce and to know exactly which are the shots that are going to be productive.
Sourav Ganguly possibly telling Ashish Nehra to relax. Ashish Nehra is not very experienced. Just his 5th test match. So one can understand that he's a little too keen. Really excited after those 2 wickets that he got. Tried to bowl a little too quick. Lost out on the movement that he was getting. And that's what he's got to guard against. Not to try and bowl too quick. This is good stuff.
But well played too. A controlled shot from Chanderpaul. He had to counter a little bit of swing, but he was never trying to hit it too hard. Getting into line quickly and just punching it past mid-off.
Yes, leaning into the drive quite nicely. The new ball, you don't try and play powerful shots. You try and play as close to the body as possible. That's exactly what Shivnarine Chanderpaul has done. Got very close, moved into the drive, got close to the ball, narrowed the swing, cut down the swing, and then let the bat do the rest.
So exactly 100 required.
Nice curve that. A little bit away from the off stump, so not tempted to go for it, but at least he's getting that swing right. Now it's a matter of getting that line right. The length's not bad, the length's good as well. Around the off stump, bringing the batsman forward for the drive. You've got 2 slips in position. Just the line's got to start around the batsman's off stump. It's his first over. It'll take a little time to settle down. Fast bowlers do tend to do that because they need to get their confidence as to the run-up. The moment they start overstepping, then they lose their rhythm.
He's just looking to get that away swing from around the off stump. The ball not swinging, just holding its line on that occasion. The good thing for Ashish Nehra is that there are 2 left-handers out there, so the line will be pretty similar. But what he's got to alter is the length. If you look at Gayle and Chanderpaul, Gayle well over 6 feet in height, Chanderpaul a shorter man, so the length has to be fuller for Chanderpaul. .213 for 4.
Exotic fruit juice with a cutting edge of vodka. Blend the rules.
Again, bright sunshine here. It's much better in the shade. It's pretty breezy this morning, and there is still some breeze blowing across the ground, but the sun's blazing down. And even for day 5, a pretty good turnout. A definite result on hand. And he played some booming drives just before the lunch break, Chris Gayle. The last one was example of that, but on that occasion, the ball not finding the gap.
He's really let it go, this one. But the Sourav Ganguly knows that he plays that off drive very well, so he's got a fielder in that position. Doesn't quite play the straight drive, he plays the off drive.
And that's gone past slip. There is no third slip. That was uppish. It's beaten third man too, and the first boundary after lunch.
Well, he looks good off the front foot. Off the back foot, he's looked pretty edgy, pretty iffy. Srinath forcing him onto the back foot, but there wasn't a third slip in position. But once again, when he gets onto the front foot, Chris Gayle looks completely different. Looks very solid, very correct. Off the back foot, edgy. There he is.
Yes, he doesn't really get across with that back foot. And that's the real problem. See, it stays where it is on leg stump, and he just flashes hard. But that boundary bringing up the 50-run partnership. And now 3 slips in place. There's no gully.
One thing that I've never understood about the Indian field placing is the gully position. I don't really recall too many catches going in the gully for India. You need a gully position when you're paced like fire, when the batsman's fending off the face and the ball lobs up over there. Normally you wouldn't get too many square cuts caught at gully or the uppish drive. We haven't seen them of Indian new ball bowlers. But yes, third slip. Thickish edges have gone past third slip.
.96 required. This match has all the ingredients of a nail-biting finish. Ganguly is chipping away at his nails at the moment. I don't think there are any left. We'll have to manufacture them. Again, that goes through. Just opening him up a bit there, Srinath. And I can see he's altered his line. He's gone much closer to middle and leg.
That's good stuff, because what it does is it forces the left-hander to play at it. Bowling at the left-handers off some of the balls going further down, but around the middle and leg stump for the left-hander, he's got to play at it. It's a second new ball. You've got to make the batsman play as much as you can.
But from the West Indies point of view, it's good to have someone like Gayle at the crease, because it takes the pressure off. He's not just going to stand there and knock the ball around. If the ball is there to be hit, he's going to hammer it, and hammer it hard. He's been very impressive so far. 45 he's made. 218 for 4. .218 for 4. So this match nicely poised. The crowd went silent once Lara and Hooper were dismissed, but now they've got some energy back thanks to this partnership, some hope back. Nehra continuing. Gayle on strike. It'll be interesting to see if Gayle will be tempted into the big off drive. This is the second session of play. In the first session of play, just 2 wickets fell. We've seen earlier that as many as 16 wickets had fallen in the first session of play. So you add 2, it makes it 18. But this pitch eases out as the day progresses, as you can see from the next 2 sessions there, 9 and 7.
At this stage, I think the Indians need only this 1 wicket. If they can separate the duo at the crease, then they'll be looking at the tail. Maybe the story, the tail of the track might just change. It's important for them to get this partnership separated.
Yes, and don't forget what helped India really yesterday. In fact, what helped the West Indies really, and that tail of the track, was in that first session when West Indies took 5 wickets with the second new ball. So that added to the tally and very quickly made it 16. But this pitch still looks pretty good for batting. It's just the odd one that keeps low. The turn is slow, whatever there is. And really, 95 is gettable.
Well, he's tense. He's wondering what's going to happen. Suddenly comes to life. Ashish Nehra bowling just a little wide off the stumps. He's getting the movement, getting the swing. Bowling just a bit wide. Wasting that new ball. He shouldn't be worried even if he's driven, because if there's a miscue, he's got 3 slips in position. So he should be prepared to give the odd ball up there for the drive. There is protection there. There is a mid-off, and there is an extra cover. Now, if Chris Gayle hits the ball between those 2 fielders, then he deserves that boundary. But those 3 slips in position are there for that away-going delivery in case there's a miscued drive.
That's better, but a lovely shot from Chris Gayle. That's an excellent off drive.
What Ashish Nehra should be saying to himself, it doesn't matter. At least I've got him thinking about the drive now. Lovely drive this from Chris Gayle. We said earlier on, it doesn't quite play the straight drive as much as the off drive. This was more of a straightish off drive there. Put a big stride forward, covered the swing. Lovely drive.
Well, he's moved on to 49, and 49 runs, extremely well made. Wrapped on the pads, he's a tall man, he's playing forward. Empire Harper tells Nehra, just be quiet. 222 for 4. Tensions building. I think the chat is all about the Ashish Nehra appeal. Appeal for the last ball. When the appeals started dragging on, Empire Harper just put his finger to his mouth and sent a message across. Srinath continuing.
Well, he's been bowling the away-going delivery. Now this is the one that has held its line, but he's played well forward. He's a tall man. He's struck outside the line of the off stump. But Ashish Nehra goes on to appeal. How's that? How's that? How's that? Well, that's when the umpire says shush to him.
Quiet. Don't drag on with the appeal. And you don't want to get into the bad books of the umpire at this stage. With 91 required, you just shut up, take your cap and disappear very quickly towards the boundary.
Yes, really, one appeal is more than enough.
But Sonny, if Chris Gayle was watching that, he would have said, oh, it's one finger coming out. I hope it doesn't go too far up past that mouth. I'm batting beautifully on 49.
Shivnarine Chanderpaul's played a patient innings. Just get the feeling that perhaps he's wanting to score something. That shot of the previous ball wasn't quite in a position to play that shot, but he just wanted to get going, just wanted to add to that 29.
That's well played. Chest pass, Harbhajan. Chanderpaul will settle for 2.
Yes, he will, because this is very well played. Bat very close to the pad, leaving no gap at all. Played very straight, showing the full face of the bat. Very well played. It'll make him feel better. Might have felt that he was stuck on 29. He's got those 2 runs now.
Every run now being cheered by the West Indian crowd. 89 required. They've got 6 wickets in hand. See the concentration on the faces of many people in the crowd. It's been a good turnout today for the final day. Two to 4 for 4. .224 for 4. You can see the think tank there. Captain, vice captain, senior player having a chat with the bowler. Well, the crowd round the ground, they've come to life again. They just went into half an hour of mourning once Hooper and Lara were out. Now they're back on their feet, alive and kicking. And the lunch would have helped. This partnership now worth 60.
Yes, those over there will be feeling the tension, and I can assure you the manager, the coaches of both the teams would have told all the players sit in the same position. The West Indian team coach definitely would have said, now you sit in the same position, don't change positions, because this is a good partnership. Don't move. I've known coaches and captains to say, there it is, coaches and captains to say to players who want to go to the toilet, don't go to the toilet, stay there, not to move till the tea or drinks interval. West Indian players slowly coming in now.
And nice to see the whole lot out there, all the senior players too. They're behind the team, they're behind the 2 gentlemen out there in the centre. If any one of them from the ground look at the dressing room, they'll see they've got the full support. Chris Gayle, great application in this innings. He's on 49, and if West Indies were to win this game, and if he had to add another 20 or 30 runs, that innings might well be the turning point of his career. Big expectations today on Brian Lara. He came out concentrating hard, but got a good one from Ashish Nehra that bounced a little extra on him, took the outside edge. Lured into the drive. That's what Nehra wants Gayle to do. Ideally, he would want Gayle to drive into the cover area, because that's the chance of getting the outside edge if the ball is swinging and you're bowling left arm over. Lara got a good one today from Nehra. Have a look at this. He was looking to play it away to third man. Then the zip off the pitch, a little bit of extra bounce, brought about his downfall.
That was Rahul Dravid's third catch of the innings. He doesn't get much credit for his catching ability. I think he ranks with the best up there. Seen him take some outstanding catches.
He goes through quickly. 50 for Chris Gayle. And this has been a very, very good innings under pressure.
When the dressing room stands up, so also those in the crowd, this has been a very, very well compiled innings. He's come under tremendous pressure. He would have felt the pressure even as he walked out yesterday with that cramp, because he knew that it was imperative for him to stay at the crease. That was a nice partnership he and Ramnaresh Sarwan were building up at that stage. And to go off and to allow the Indian bowlers a crack at the new batsman was not exactly the right thing to happen. Now, Nagamutu has gone out. Will it change the fortunes? 225 for 4.
Still 88 required by the West Indies. 225 for 4, and the highlight since lunch has been the half century for Chris Gayle. A very good innings by the Jamaican, and to tell you more in the commentary box will be Harsha Bhogle, and I'm sure one pleased Jamaican, Michael Holding.
Very pleased Jamaican. He was up on his feet clapping the moment Gayle went for that single. It's beautifully bowled. I really do think he's bowled well with the new ball. It's Javagal Srinath.
Certainly an excellent delivery. We have seen what the balls that have been well pitched up to the bat have been doing. Just a bit of movement there. Not a great deal, but just enough to encourage the bowlers to keep the ball reasonably full.
Yes, Mikey, and just as well it didn't get a nick because the wicketkeeper didn't gather it.
Just as well for Ratra.
I think he's got the coolest head of the ground at the moment. Two batsmen apart.
I wasn't quite on my feet when Chris Gayle pushed for that single Harsha. But another 86 runs or so, you might see something a bit different.
I have no problem with that, Mikey. I don't think nothing wrong in supporting your side. I was up clapping as well for Chris Gayle, though I wouldn't have minded if he was out for 49. And now just pulling your leg. Now, what will you do if those 88 runs do come? You said you might do something else.
A quiet celebration. Not on air, of course, but a quiet celebration.
Tell me another one, Mikey. Tell me another one. Srinath. You want to do a Flintoff. Andrew Flintoff recently in India took off his shirt and charged around the ground.
No, and it's very interesting that you brought up that one, Harsh. I would love to see someone do that on Lords and see what the reaction would be. Anyway, you know I committed myself from the third day as far as what I thought would happen with this game. So the egg will either be on my face or a big smile.
Right, now for some people who may not have heard that, let's hear it from you again, Mikey.
Yes, I think you remember me saying that I thought that if the West Indies were chasing anything close to 320, that they had an outstanding chance of getting them. Still a long way to go. Still another 88 runs. Many a slip between the cup and the lip. But I think the guys are going about it quite well at the moment. But as we know, 1 wicket now could be the end of it all.
I think, though, that from an Indian perspective, that needs to come when the ball is still quite new. So do remember Michael Holding saying that if the West Indies ever set 360, 370, that they might find it beyond them. Now, Junior Murray, Mervyn Dillon, Adam Sanford to come. Junior Murray's come into this test series, a rich vein of form in the Buster Shield behind him. 4 centuries now. That's a lot of runs. You've got to believe that at some point Junior Murray is going to score runs. Hasn't scored any so far. Just looking around for company, he's seen himself on the screen. Mervyn Dillon, stubborn at best. 225 for 4. Mervyn Dillon's never too far away from a smile. Great attitude. Brian Lara permitted himself a very tiny one in the break between overs. Obviously, I got the feeling when he came out to bat today that he had said, I am going to win this for the West Indies. I think Chanderpaul's batted wonderfully as well. With Gayle, you always sense there's a chance. There's one that went off to gully at a catchable height when Harbhajan was bowling. One of the new ball, and that was a bizarre piece of work by the Indians, not having third slip up against Javagal Srinath with the new ball. That would have been a fairly safe catch down with third slip. And said that, I think Chanderpaul's batted quite wonderfully. He's been very calm and steady.
I think his confidence is back, Shivnarine Chanderpaul. He batted very well in Guyana. He went out there and initially started to attack. That's a good shot. Hit that very well. There were 2 men out behind square when he first came to the crease, Shivnarine Chanderpaul, but now with just one, the fine leg, lots of room.
That ball went to the boundary very, very quickly. Fantastic, really middled it, big swing. That was very quickly gone. I don't know if you agree with this, Mikey. I just get the feeling looking around that Indian team that they believe there's 30 runs to get, not 84. Get the feeling when 120 were left, the body language suggested there were 80 runs to get. 84 is a lot of runs. I just get the feeling that they believe just 30 or 40 to get. There's a lot of frustration going around. Partnership's worth 65, and now the crowd's applauding again.
You see how this partnership builds. Ganguly gets a bit more frustrated. The team, their morale starts to drop, and that's when you have to lift the team as a captain.
Everyone's into it now. This partnership is 65. It's taken its time, 157 balls. And I still think Chanderpaul is batting wonderfully. Oh, not there. Not there. What was he doing?
About 8,000 voices on the ground saying no.
Oh, this is brilliant. This crowd is absolutely into this match. Some of them are following it on radio around the ground, but I don't think they need all that. I think they want to be behind the microphone because their views are as colourful as anyone else's. That was a shocking shot. More Chanderpaul. I think he likes the ball close to the body. He'll pick up 2. Crowd like that. I think there'll be shouts there, won't they? That's the way to go, man. That's the way to go. Are there more people now, Mike? They're just making more noise.
There are a few more people that have come in. I think a lot of people would have been at work this morning, listening to the cricket, hoping that things would have gone well. And at lunchtime, quite a few more would have come in. Don't think you'd find too much happening in the offices, even for those who aren't here, Asha. Most people in the offices would either be watching on some television screen close by or a radio, listening. Well, Chanderpaul now having the same problems that Chris Gayle had yesterday. Perhaps gripping the bat a bit too tightly. The forearms getting cramped.
Tell you what, Mikey, if these to go on and score these 82 runs, I don't know the Caribbean, but there will not be too much happening in offices in India tomorrow. They'll all be up late. Everyone living on hope. Huge audience back in India. As I'm certain there's in other parts of the world, but they'll be watching it till late into the night. And tomorrow morning, though not quite as colourfully expressed as some of the people here in the crowd, they will all have their opinions at work. Bulletin boards in offices will be up saying Ganguly should have had a 3rd slip, saying Harbhajan should have bowled better. It won't be short on opinion, I can assure you. Between 2 players, another couple there for Chanderpaul. So 8 of the over, 233 for 4. Gayle 50, Chanderpaul 39. Ramnaresh comes out the reserve for the West Indies. There's tension starting to build in their dressing room. This is a contest between 2 teams who've not known what it is to win in recent times. And so a win on either side would be just huge. It would be unbelievably big. And 2 teams really want this. There it is. I said they're listening on the radio. But I genuinely think a lot of them would be happier off behind the microphone or in the pages of a coaching manual, telling the players what to do. More runs. 2. Good running. Now the applause spreading into the dressing room as well. 78 to get.
Most people now will be counting down in 10s. Now into the 70s. This was good running. Chris Gayle immediately took off thinking about 2 and got them.
Some of the pictures from the crowd here are unforgettable. And long after this match has gone, some of the faces are going to live on. I think it's a big effort from Javagal Srinath. He really has bowled well.
Now coming round the wicket as well, Srinath. He realizes that his ball isn't coming back into the left-hander. Everything is just been drifting across the left-hander. Now the 3rd slip is out. Deep backward square leg comes in. Not really known to be a very big hooker, Chris Gayle.
Now, was he listening or was he speaking into that? You'd normally think he'd listen to it. I think he's speaking into it. One of it's there's a little dictaphone attachment to it, and he's putting down his own comments into it. Well played. Because that's where all the action is coming from as far as the crowd in here is concerned. On the radio, Joseph Ritz Pereira and Fazir Mohammed. That's the CMC radio commentary team. Having a long go there. He's done a lot of games, has Ritz Pereira. The man in the centre there was former umpire Clyde Cumberbatch. I'll tell you what I find very funny about Ritz Pereira. I'll tell you in just a moment. Here Srinath is going round the wicket. He's wearing a shirt yesterday that said Bulls. For a man who's called Reds to wear a shirt that's got Bulls written on it was quite amazing. I just get the feeling the Indian supporters there just looking a bit tense, looking at the scoreboard, and every time they look up they see 4 wickets down. They want to see 8, but they're seeing 4. Just that extra effort, you could hear the grunt. So trying to do something here is Srinath.
I think they have the man out for the wrong man though. Chris Gayle is not really a big hooker. Chanderpaul, we have seen that Chanderpaul is quite willing to pull and to hook. Those 2 men out there, I think they could be wasting their time unless they are just there to stop the boundary. Anything onto the pad, it will be turned up into that area. I don't think you'll find Chris Gayle hooking at too many deliveries.
Yes, the last thing you want is another slip flying, another edge flying to third slip. Well bowled, good line, but he's in control there. Gayle, 235 for 4. 235 for 4. Chanderpaul is 39. Gayle 52. You see lots of contributions there. The West Indies haven't allowed wickets to fall in a heap. 41 to Sarwan, 47 to Lara, 22 to Hooper. These two want to do it all themselves. So Zaheer Khan gets a ball that's 9 overs old. Picture the wickets of Lara and Hooper in the first innings. None for 42 so far.
West Indies 2 top batsmen, Lara and Hooper, falling to the left arm seamers. Zaheer Khan in the first innings, Ashish Nehra in the second.
That's more runs. Chanderpaul wants a second. He's not going to get it. It's called wide. He makes it 2 runs.
It's the first test series that I've seen with so many wides being called. You get accustomed to seeing them in a one-day game, but not so much in test matches. But none of them that have been called wide, except for one that I can remember that I think shouldn't have been called. None of them could ever be argued with. As a matter of fact, I remember one that wasn't called that should have been. Ajay Ratra having a few problems with his thumb. Not easy keeping wickets on this Queen's Park pitch.
Something you'll find with Zaheer Khan that the length will be a lot shorter than Nehra. Nehra likes to pitch the ball up and move it in the air. Zaheer Khan will hit the deck a little more. Caught! Straight to Harbhajan, driving in the air, Chris Gayle. Roger Harper doesn't like it. The West Indies lose a wicket with 75 to get, and once again a bowling change has produced a breakthrough.
Jeffrey Boycott was talking about that earlier on. You have to keep on rotating your bowlers. You don't want the batsmen to get too accustomed to the bowlers, and this has worked again here for India. A bit wide, not quite to the pitch of the ball, Chris Gayle, but he had been driving well. And I suppose he thought to himself, well, I can get to that, I can drive that, but it wasn't close enough. Lofted it, caught at point. Another wicket goes down for the West Indies. They needed not to have lost that one. It's 2:38 for 5.
This is as good a time as any. Has come back into the West Indies side. No runs in the series so far. Average is 23. He's got 103 50s. West Indies will take even 25 or 30 from him here. It's come in because Gayle has self-destructed again.
Wasn't there for the drive. Wasn't a half volley by any means. And it was a bit wide of him outside the off stump. Look how far he has come forward there, Chris Gayle. He comes a long way forward when he does come forward, but he still didn't get to the pitch.
Oh, they went up in appeal. Ganguly came charging down at the umpire, and the only reason they might have appealed was that the ball had gone off glove. That would have been what the appeal was about.
Very first delivery. Missed everything on the way through. Not the best of shots.
Yes, that angle is clear. Missed everything.
Here's Chris Gayle's dismissal again. That's, you can see it was wide of him. It was reasonably full in length, but it wasn't a half volley and it was wide. Had no control over the shot. Not a lot to come now for the West Indies. Mervyn Dillon, Adam Sanford, Cameron Cuffy, Marlon Black. 4 fast bowlers. They need Shivnarine Chanderpaul to stay there and to get some support from the other 5. Murray and the other 4.
Gets his first run in this innings and in the series. Oh, they love it. Oh, they love it. Junior Murray will not be very happy with this. The crowd is cheering a run.
The first run scored by a wicketkeeper in the series, Asha.
Well, Mervyn Dillon, Adam Sanford, Cameron Cuffy, Marlon Black, if they play to their averages, as you sometimes want them to, you get 20 runs. To know that the situation tends to bring out the best or the worst in every animal. Chanderpaul's on 39. Once again, Ganguly is going to have a word. I think Daryl Harper had a word with him again after that appeal when Ganguly came running down. I just get the feeling he's like a little child in a birthday party. He wants things to happen every minute. He wants a new game coming up, a new present around the corner. Captain's got to be a little calmer. He's shown a lot of passion, a lot of exuberance. Sometimes I want the captain to be one step back. One step ahead of the action, one step behind in the exuberance. It's almost as if he must do something. He's very fidgety. Ganguly goes up and has a word with the bowler. Wants to do something after every ball. But at least he's out there on the ground and reasonably in control of what's happening. Not so for the West Indies captain, Carl Hooper. That's Brian Lara, of course. Ooh, almost had him playing. Wicket in the over. It's 2:38 for 5. There's Cameron Cuffy and Marlon Black in the dressing room. Now Mervyn Dillon's already gone to told the press conference yesterday that he does not believe he will bat today. Tell you what, I don't think those two would want to either. Not the best batsman at the best of times, but the pressure can do strange things to batting techniques as well. Now Ganguly is asking for another big effort from Srinath. Still changing the field around.
He's attacking Junior Murray, and that's the right thing to do. Putting fielders in his face. 3 slips, short extra cover.
This could be great for Junior Murray's ego, Mikey. He leaves the ball in the crowd applause. He scores a single in the celebration.
No, not really. That's not very good for his confidence. Don't think he can afford to think about that, though. Can only afford to think about what's happening in front of him. That's the red ball coming down towards him. If he starts batting well, though, Ash, and middles a few, gets a few runs, they'll all start supporting him.
6 innings from wicket keepers in this series have so far produced 3 runs. Oh, inside edge. Junior Murray's got a duck and a duck. Dasgupta got a duck. Ratra's got 2 and a duck. And Murray's 1 not out.
Bit of an inside edge there from Junior Murray. Has been out LBW on numerous occasions, Junior Murray. Shivnarine Chanderpaul coming down to have a word with him.
And Mikey on both occasions in this series. LBW to Zaheer Khan at Georgetown, LBW Srinath here. 16 times leg before. And I think you can see why.
It's all to do with his technique. Has a pretty ordinary technique, Junior Murray. And once the ball is coming in towards him, if he doesn't get that left foot right forward, he gets himself into a lot of trouble because he stands back on his crease and then plays across the line of the ball. I think that is why he has been desperately trying to push that left leg out. Have a look at that. 16 times out leg before.
Oh, he found the fielder. It's funny, isn't it? When you're short of runs, you can play a great shot and find a fielder. When you're full of runs, someone that doesn't seem to be a fielder when you're hitting a shot. 75 to get. Really, Chanderpaul holds the key from here on. Oh, he's run away for the run. He should be out. The Indians think they've got him. What was Junior Murray doing? He's called for the replay. What was he doing? It's the non-striker's call behind the stumps. The Indians believe they've got a wicket here. We'll wait and see. Ganguly hands on the heads. Oh, it's not a happy place to be in just now. All eyes on the replay. Mikey.
My impression is that he did not get in harsher. Not too sure why he thought there was a run there. Well, this will tell us exactly what the situation is. He's out by a distance. I had that impression. He had gone a long way down the pitch. No chance of getting back from there.
He knows it. He knows it, and the light is red. Another wicket goes down for the West Indies. This one not earned, this one granted. 238 for 6 now. Oh, that's not a happy dressing room. Junior Murray, his unhappy series with the bat continues. Now run out for 1. 238 for 6 as drinks come onto the ground.
As I said all along, pressure is the 12th man. The pressure is bearing down on the West Indies. Junior Murray just giving it away. Jimmy, not good to see from a West Indian point of view, that, was it?
No, I don't think anybody would have been happy with what happened there. But as we saw with the Indian team in the first innings with Ganguly and Khan, again we see what I think was a needless run out. But it's pressure. Pressure is the name of the game. And with Gayle going there, Junior Murray coming out, not enjoying the best of series with the bat. There we see Gayle going quarter point. Having done all the hard work, you know, it was a pretty low shot from Gayle, and shortly followed by Junior. So there we
Just
go
not
again.
quite there for that shot, was it?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was nowhere near. He couldn't control. He couldn't keep it down, and all he succeeded in doing was spooning a catch to point. And
Now tell me, Junior Murray, what was he doing?
well, I just think it's just pressure. You've come in, and the pressure's just gotten the best of you, because I can't see a single being there at the best of times. People might question whether Shivnarine Chanderpaul made a call, but Junior was just wondering. I don't think he was there, as in there in the here and now. I just think the pressure got to him, and he made a silly mistake.
India in great shape now then.
Looking good, looking good. They've gotten the breakthrough. They got Gayle. They had an end to bowl at, and that process continues now. From here on in, is Chanderpaul plus a tail ender, so they can effectively control the game from here on in.
Tell me what happens when Junior Murray gets back in the dressing room. Do the guys speak to him? Do they let him calm down? What happens?
Well, usually what happens is that you give a man some breathing space. You allow him time to just cool down. You know, he'll be feeling so distraught himself that there's nothing that you can say that can make him feel any worse or probably any better. You know, you know, all of us have made mistakes. I've been in that situation myself, and you really don't want anybody saying anything. Just leave me alone to my thoughts for a few minutes, and he'll come out of it. But I think for now, they'll just give him time and space.
Okay, well, Murray run out for 1, 239 for 6. Okay, Srinath in then. Oh my goodness. There you go, Jim. Silence in the West Indian dressing room.
There would be.
Dillon, now you told me he was going to take the West Indies to victory. Not to be.
Well, I was proved wrong. Very good ball by Srinath. Good length, kept a little bit low, and I could see that ball defeating better batsmen than Dillon, to be fair. But as we said, India definitely in pole position and moving further and further away, to be honest.
The Trinidad crowd are absolutely stunned, Jim.
Well, as we've seen over the course of this Test match, the tail on both teams hasn't hung around, and it's not looking too good here. And what it means is that those coming out are going to have more and more work to do to try and stay with Shiv and get these runs.
Okay, well, Marlon Black's out there, and is he the man for the job, Jimmy? Is he the saviour for West Indian cricket?
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out, Mike. But you know, the Indians would look at his statistics and they would know that you know, the West Indies don't have that much.
Okay, well, we shall see. The West Indies crumbling before our eyes. 239 for 7, and as we see, Mervyn Dillon. It did keep low on him, this one, though, didn't it?
It did. It did. I could have seen that defeating better batsmen than he. But credit to Srinath. Didn't waste any time. Put it in the right spot, as he's done literally all series. And the wicket, and Dillon did the rest.
He certainly did. All right, let's get back across then to Trinidad. Our commentators, Geoffrey Boycott and Tony Cozier.
Well, the question what Chanderpaul should do now. He just took the single off the first ball. It's so many runs to get. Just can't start protecting tail-enders this early. Perhaps he shouldn't have taken that first one. Who knows? Here's Black. So he's right in behind it. If he can stick around, Chanderpaul do the scoring, but that's a big ask now. 74 for the last 3 wickets for a team which before this Test match in the last 6 Test matches was averaging 14 for the last 4 wickets. Really be something of a miracle.
Well, it would, but it's not impossible. The first thing they've got to do is not lose wickets. I mean, 3 have just gone very quickly, so India on a high. They've got to, first of all, stay in. That's it. Well played, lad. Yeah, got a very good hand from the crowd because he got forward. A much better chance of getting it in the middle of the bat or on the pad. somehow he's got to try and survive, hasn't he? He has got to think about runs, to get the odd leg by and an edge. Somehow try and survive, settle the situation, give Chanderpaul a chance to play at his end.
Problem is with the tail enders, you often hear the expression they don't know where their off stump is, so they feel that they have to play at everything.
Some of them don't know where any stump is. What I've seen of the West Indies and Indian tail enders this series, they're virtually hopeless. If you blink, you miss a couple of them. Bold straight. It's the only thing the captain should say to him, and then leave him alone to bowl. Tell him to bowl straight. Well, they won't help either side.
There's only one team here that's flying high now, and that's India, with those 3 quick wickets. It happened in India's innings yesterday more dramatically, last 6 for 13. More relaxed now, Ganguly. Well played to finish off the over at 239 to 7. There we go. Last 3 overs, 4 runs, 3 wickets. West Indies just seem to be getting themselves into a pretty good position when Gayle was out. Here's Srinath now to Chanderpaul. Off the back of the bat down to 3rd man. Difficult situation now for Chanderpaul. Just wants to get every opportunity to score, but he doesn't want to get out.
Yeah, I can't believe, though, that this is sensible, taking a run off the first ball, especially with somebody who's got a test average about 2. I think you've got to have 2 or 3 balls yourself to see if you get anything to get a 2 or a 4 off. Then you take the single. The more balls you give the Indian bowlers with a fairly newish ball to bowl at a tail ender, then the more chance they have of getting him out, and sooner or later you've got to work on averages. You fancy that Marlon Black's going to get out, so you've got to give him a little bit of protection, because he's not such a good batsman.
Have to run hard to the bowler's end. A little bit of deflection from the fielder's hand, and that gives him a chance for a run. That's a good run by Chanderpaul. Just eluded the fielder's right hand. Chanderpaul saw the opportunity. Black responded.
Well, Srinath's not impressed with this. This is a sort of trickling edge. Didn't go that quick. He makes a Swan Lake type dive, and they get a single, and Srinath, he's furious. Look at him. You stupid idiot, he's saying in Indian.
I don't think he said that, Jeff.
Well, he said something a bit worse, but in Hindi, my goodness, he is really cross.
Yeah, words to that effect, I think we can say.
Yeah. We don't need to know what he said, we can guess.
And he's going to take the run here. Needs to put on another 20 or so. Things will get tense again. But 71 is a long way to go for the West Indies. Just really get standing. Chanderpaul with a forearm which is giving him a little bit of trouble. Adam Sanford getting ready. He's putting on the forearm guard already. Huge cheers. Every run now. Crowd has been intently involved in the proceedings today. It really has been. They've cheered wides, they've booed appeals. Boundaries, well, they've just exploded.
This is a good over for West Indies. 5 singles. That's all they have to do. Sneak a single every now and again. Keep good defence. That's Chanderpaul telling him, one ball, all you have to do is stop it. Don't do anything silly.
Chanderpaul is just getting trouble with that forearm. Just seems to have a little bit of cramp in it. It's not the first time I've seen him have that complaint. Here's the last ball of the over now. Black in strike to Srinath. Well kept out. Cheers around the ground almost as if the West Indies had won them. Water is on the field. It's a very hot day. Marlon Black has just come in. He has had a swig as well. But he'll be the non-striker. Chanderpaul will be in strike to Zaheer Khan. Chanderpaul 43. Some appropriate music being played around the ground. In the Mood is being pumped out by Chickies Disco in the Trini Posse stand. A while ago it was ain't no stopping us now when Gayle and Chanderpaul were going along, but the music's changed somewhat.
I think that's the line to Chanderpaul, not to bowl too straight at him. If you bowl too straight, he's going to work you, isn't he, towards the onside. I think you've just got to get him playing out there. He just offered to swing a touch. You can't afford to get it too wide or short, but if you could just get him feeling for it like that, I think it's a better line.
Timing in the shot. Just wonder how much Chanderpaul is inconvenienced by that sore right forearm. He's been rubbing it. He's had some medication on the field.
That's what I was talking about. Oh, and it's through. Not a great bit of feeling there. Not the best was that. You see, it's too straight. It's about middle, and he's worked it beautifully because the length is full. It's fairly full, maybe even off stump. Oh, you've got to save that, haven't you? Is that Nehra on his favourite left-hand side? A bit disappointed is that.
Now holding his shoulder. As you have been mentioning, Jeffrey, he's prone to injury.
Yeah, I don't think you want to ask him on the morning how he is.
Yeah, Black, like all tailenders, will just fish out there You'll find that the specialist batsman would have left that.
Never played at it, he says. No, I just pretended. They do play a miss a lot, though. I mean, it's just the way they are. They're bowlers. Left it.
Left it cleverly too. Frustrating the bowler, if you believe Marlon Black.
Another single, and he's topped his average in Test cricket, hasn't he?
I don't think it'll come off this ball. It's the last ball of the over. Huge stare as he's right in behind it. 247 for 7. It's a lovely bright afternoon. Weather is not going to be a factor in the outcome of this match. Here's Srinath now to Chanderpaul. They'll look for 2.
He's a clever little player. Oh, danger here.
I think it was the man who fielded the ball rather than the fact that Chanderpaul didn't feel he could get back. Rifled the return back in, got there quickly. Sachin Tendulkar, such a good cricketer, got around, fired the return. Chanderpaul didn't want to take the chance, might have been a second.
Well, you've got to give him credit. He's got the right idea as Marlon Black. He's just getting behind the ball. And there he is. He's really watching it carefully. Look, he was trying to get forward. Then it was dug in, so he just stood up with a straight bat. Well, that was my point the other day about some of the tail-enders. You always have to bat. You should at least work out some way how to defend. We don't expect you to play an array of shots like Lara or Hooper, but be able to stick there for Chanderpaul. Yeah, the problem would come if Chanderpaul got out and then 2 tail-enders who are not recognised batsmen have to get 50 or 60 runs. Then it is a problem. But while he's there, they must all play for him. He can win the game. If he stays in, he'll win the game, he'll get the runs. It's just, can the others stay at one end while he's doing his job? 47 not out. He's a very good little player. Super forward defensive. Mr. Dillon wants to take note of this. This is what he was doing in the first innings, but failed in the second. Yep. It'll be hard to get out if he keeps plonking that big foot forward. He's a tall man.
You've been coaching him?
No, but I'd like to see people use the head, use the brain at cricket.
Well, he did use his head.
And he's not out. That's all that matters. It had been a lot more painful if it had got onto the stumps and he was out. And I tell people, you get hit on the helmet, hit on the gloves, hit in the ribs or under the heart. It's a lot more painful when you're actually out, I can tell you. Yeah, he headed that beautifully. That's it, get the head over the ball. Get your head over the ball, smell the leather. I didn't quite mean it literally, but...
Last ball of the over. Sees it out. 2:48 for 7. Back with Chanderpaul now to face Zaheer. Just the single. So Black will have some more work to do here. Chanderpaul just having some confidence in the number 9 batsman. Indians won't mind that. They've got plenty of runs still to play with. 64 the West Indies need now. Once they can get the main batsman off the strike.
Well, that's well bowled and well played again. No wonder he's getting tremendous applause from the home crowd.
Leaving it pretty well, Jeff.
He'll never touch it. He'll just tell all of his teammates in the dressing room, I was just playing for my stumps. Wasn't really playing at it.
They're the last 2 men there padded up. Adam Sanford and Cameron Cuffy.
If Cuffy's padded up already, I don't think he's got too much confidence in Sanford. Usually you just put your box and your thigh pad on. Hold. Well, I thought he's bowled a couple of good balls on good length. Now Ganguly's saying something different to him. I don't know what else you can do more than that. They were beautiful line and length and a bit of pace. The batsman, the tail ender, just wasn't good enough to nick it. I don't think it's a time for experimenting. You just bowl your line, bowl your length, and you work on averages. Sooner or later you get a wicket.
Well, that's the 5th ball of the over. So Chanderpaul now will be looking to get a run off this last one to regain the strike. 3rd man placed down there, which is certainly a good policy by Ganguly. He knows he has only 3 wickets to get, but there are only 63 runs, so he just wants to ensure that no boundaries. 250 raised by the West Indies, 313 the target.
1 ball for Zaheer Khan to keep Chanderpaul at that end. I think he's got to bowl it a little wide of off stump. If Chanderpaul wants to then go after it, he has a chance of getting him out. Bowl the length is important, and a little wide. Hope he goes fishing for it. He's done that, and he's got away with it. He's got an edge there that's flashlight lightning flash second slip. Brought up his 50. Given West Indies another 4 runs, but I think it was the right ball. It's a little bit of good fortune with the half-century man Chanderpaul and West Indies. 254 for 7.
So Chanderpaul half-century. Here's how he got it. He had a similar shot early in the piece. Very thick outside edge, flashing down to the vacant 3rd man position for 4. But now Black has to face. Here's Srinath into him. Ball's going to head down the leg side, not out, says umpire De Silva. As I now hand over to Ravi Shastri and with him Michael Holding.
Thank you, Tony. Plenty of appealing, but that's understandable at this stage. India sensing a win. West Indies trying to string a partnership here. And every ball that Marlon Black plays, he gets a huge ovation from the crowd. His job is to stay there with Chanderpaul. Ganguly now getting another man in close in. He himself comes into a silly mid-off position, close in on the offside.
This has been a good effort from Marlon Black. Javagal Srinath has been desperately trying to get him to play back. Few short balls, has been hit on his helmet, but he's trying his best to get that left foot forward. There he goes again, doing the correct thing here, Marlon Black.
Well, you can just see the reaction of the crowd. They still believe West Indies can win. 59 required. Big stride forward. He's played 23 balls now for his 3. And as compared to that, in this partnership, Chanderpaul has played just 10. This time, has that gone on the glove? Black is walking. So there's no real decision to be made by the umpire. The end seems to be coming nearer for the West Indies. India picked up their 8. And still 59 required.
Another big wicket this for India. Marlon Black had been doing quite well. Javagal Srinath bouncing that as high as he possibly could. Not a great deal of assistance here for the fast bowlers, but Marlon Black not the most accomplished. Hit him on his glove, lobbed up, quite simply caught. 254 for 8.
254 for 8. Adam Sanford comes out to the middle. Marlon Black, the last man to be dismissed. Srinath picking up his 3rd wicket. That's a well-directed short delivery. Black only managing to fend it away. Close in on the onside. Das taking the simple catch.
Didn't quite know exactly what to do with that, Marlon Black. Trying to do the right thing though, but Javagal Srinath in the end, the victor. 3 slips back in again. Forward short leg remains there.
can bang on target. He's bowled really well in this test match, Srinath. The length has been good, the line has been good. He's made the batsman play. Good partnership between Chris Gayle and Shivnarine Chanderpaul. When that partnership was going on, one thought West Indies had the initiative, but it all changed in a matter of minutes. And now Shivnarine Chanderpaul will have to do something special here.